Well, things are very stormy right now. We are continuing to look at multiple different areas of severe weather. We've got a tornado warning now, three areas of severe storms. So we're just going to take it from here, and I'm just going to go and discuss it. We've also got Bill Race up there on the Facebook Live, but this is a tornado warning now issued near Grootly Lager, and it's heading east towards Soddy Daisy. You can see that right here in this black area. Let me just pause this so that way it stops moving and I can get over there and I can discuss this with you guys. So I'm going to head over to the green screen now so I can really point things out for you. So this is what we're looking at. This box right here. It's hard to see, but tracing with my finger. Grootly Lager heading east towards Soddy Daisy. This is a tornado warning within multiple severe thunderstorm warnings now. There's a lot of frequent lightning associated with it too. This is going to be expiring in about 30 minutes, about 30 to 40 minutes. It's hard to get an idea of exactly where it is because it's underneath so many severe thunderstorm warnings. But just to give an idea, it's also producing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's 5 miles an hour shy of hurricane force wind gusts, along with half-dollar-sized hail. It's about 1.5 to 2 inches with that hail possible, heading through Whitwell as well as off towards Soddy Daisy. And of course, Grootly Lager is where it is now. So I'm going to switch to velocity mode so that way we can see any particular rotation. I just need to change a few things real quick so I can get that. Okay, my goodness. All right, so I'm trying to find that rotation. There it is. Bingo. All right, you can see it right here. So this is the rotation. This is how it's going, right there, right through Grootly Lager. Let's zoom in there so that we can really see where it is in particular. Collins Palmer, just off of Route 111. It's still kind of broad. At least the rotation seems broad, but it's right there. This is the point that we're keeping an eye on. I know it's very messy here, so I'm going to do my best to really point it out for you guys. There it is, right there. That's the rotation we need to look for. That is the potential tornado, or at least the rotation that the tornado warning is associated with. Just east of Grootly Lager, it's heading east towards Dunlap at this point, but there's also small other bands of choppy or rugged rotation, which is what David called it earlier this morning. I'm not seeing any other particular areas of rotation that we have to look for, but this is what we're keeping an eye on right there. So let me point that out a bit better for you guys. It's still pretty broad, which is good. The more broad it is, the better. But this is what we're looking for. So there's Grootly Lager, there's Route, I believe, 117, and there it is. So this is going towards the radar, and that's away. So you're seeing that rotation like this. And also spilling out over 127 is another potential rotation here that could also be involved with this potential tornadic development. So we're going to continue to monitor those two areas, but we also are inside of a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in Dunlap, if you're in Grootly Lager, of course, if you are in the Pikeville area even, we are going to be seeing this potentially in your area. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, half-dollar-sized hail, all possible issues that could be associated with this. And of course, we've got that rotation. So there's that towards and away, that spin, that's what we look for in these situations. So we're going to continue to monitor that, but until then, it's very heavy rain, lots of thunder and lightning. Let me show that for you real quick. You can see how heavy that rain is going to end up being. Still dumping buckets of that all throughout the entire area. Just checking to see. Okay. So yes, that is what we're looking at right now. East of Grootly Lager, heading towards Dunlap. You can see that there's some small pockets of no rain there, but it's about to hit you guys very hard over there in Dunlap. So we are keeping an eye on that particular cell, but there's a few broad areas of rotation that we're going to constantly be looking at. Like right here, we could be seeing another potential tornadic development, and it doesn't look like it's over anything in particular that I can see. It's right between Route 127 and Route 111, just southeast of Dunlap. And then, of course, we've got that other one. So this is becoming more broad. We love that. We need that. We hope to see it continuously, but there's these small little pockets. I don't like how that is moving like this, but that's the rotation here. When it's small and clumped together like this on our storm relative velocity map, that is what we look for, and it could end up becoming something a bit more so. But that's where we're looking. Okay, it's just updated. That looks promising. It still looks pretty broad, and we like to keep that broad. But then you've got another area like this that's still rotation, and it's very small scale. So it's possible that that could be firing off another potential tornado or a funnel cloud. We're going to say funnel cloud for now because we can't know for sure if it's hitting the ground yet or not. But we do know that it's there. And this is all associated with a severe thunderstorm warning. This is also for Hamilton County. This is going to be until 5 a.m. Central Time, so about 30-ish minutes, 32 minutes until that expires, and the tornado warning is most likely associated with that as well. So here's that reflectivity again. Switch to this. It's a little bit easier to see. This is also easier to show the velocity. This is a different kind of style that we have, still showing other areas. So we still have this one near Dunlap, and that's that kind of curve right up here. You can see right there, it's kind of really close together. That's the rotation we look for. These are all just the particular possible trouble spots. Also looking near Palmer, Bakerstown, east of Grootley Lager around 111 has that rotation too. So these are all places that could potentially have tornadic development. And taking a broader look at this, you can see that it's a very strong system. We're looking at around 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail. Remember to stay inside, go to your safe space, interior room away from windows. Make sure that you cover your head as well as it's coming through in case of a strong wind gust. We are in a tornado watch in these areas as well. And the tornado warning is for Bledsoe, Marion, Sequatchie County until 5 a.m. Central Time. So about 30 minutes, just like the severe thunderstorm warning. So this is the trouble spot that we're seeing now. It looks like the Grootley Lager section still has some issues, but it's much more broad, so that's good. It looks like that part of the tornado warning has been de-issued now, but it's still going through the Dunlap area and also down towards I-27, 127. You can see some rotation there and here. So if you are in Dunlap, you are going to want to go to your safe space, interior room, away from windows, cover your head, or underground, your basement if you've got one. You can see that this kind of clumping isn't what we like to see. Now, it doesn't mean that there is a tornado on the ground, but at this point, we're going to treat it like it is, so that way we can all be safe. There's that reflectivity again. Looks like they've just extended that severe thunderstorm warning into a massive area, including Decatur, Athens, Hopewell, and Cleveland. So, we're not out of the woods yet. This secondary line seems to be pretty strong. It's not firing off as many tornado warnings as the previous system yet, and we're going to hope that it doesn't. But, we're here with you live on TV, of course, and Bill Race is live on Facebook. If you want to be able to get, two different perspectives of the same system, we're here for you. And also on our Facebook, not our Facebook, but our Storm Track 9 app. You can follow the radar all along yourself, and you can also get real-time updates on warnings and watches. Of course, turn your weather radios on now as well, if you've got one. Make sure that if you do have power still, that you're charging your phones, charging everything that you can, just in case that we do lose power, because this is a pretty strong system. The severe thunderstorm warning in this case, at least through Hamilton, Marion, and Sequatchie County, has 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which is 5 miles an hour shy of hurricane force winds. We're also dealing with flash flooding potential. That's also through Chattanooga, Collegedale, and Hamilton County. It looks like Grootley Lager is now out of the worst of it. They're no longer in a severe thunderstorm warning. But Dunlap, you certainly are, and you are also in that tornado potential. Right here is where we could see that potential right there. In fact, there's 2 areas that I see. Actually, there's 3 potential areas. So here's one. Here's one. There's 2. And then there's 3. So those are 3 areas of potential rotation that we could be seeing for that severe storm and tornado potential. At least funnel cloud-like. So that's Douse, I believe is how you pronounce that, but it's Route 28, Route 127 through the Dunlap area. Heading towards Soddy Daisy. That's a severe thunderstorm warning also in that area. You can see very heavy rain, lots of thunder and lightning. Strong wind gusts. Actually, what is this one? I want to take a look and see if this is the same thing. Looks like they've updated the tornado warning. This has 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Okay, so this one's a little bit, this side is a little bit weaker than this cell near the Whitwell. It's going through Whitwell right now, so if you are in Whitwell, you know, obviously if you're everywhere, you're going to want to be in your safe space. Dunlap. Still dealing with their, I can't click that tornado warning because there's too many severe thunderstorm warnings going on around it. But the tornado warning will expire at 5 o'clock. And of course, you can get a different perspective on Facebook with Bill Race. He's also there. Double trouble. It's always what we'd like to have to help keep you guys safe. Let's go back to that velocity, see if anything has changed. Douse, if that is how you pronounce it, is still seeing rotation, but it's a bit wider. You need it to be very close together, very clumped together in order to get that potential rotation. There's also this area right out here to the east of Dunlap that could potentially be spinning out. Not in the severe, it's not in the tornado warning, but they might end up extending it depending on what they can see. Of course, the National Weather Service can see what we can, but they've got different radar sites than we do too, so they can have a little bit more of a different perspective than we do. It's up to them to issue the warnings. It's our job to keep you safe during them. Looks like they've just extended a severe thunderstorm warning through Chattanooga now as well. This also involves 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail. It is moving east at 50 miles an hour. This is a very, very fast-moving system. The good news with that means that it's going to be blowing through faster, so we're not going to have to worry about it for as long. But we still do have to deal with it. It's going to be going through Signal Mountain in the next 10 minutes. Then Red Bank, downtown Chattanooga, and this is one of the stronger cells with the system. And we're also seeing another system out here near High Top is also dealing with that as well. We have to keep focus on this tornado warning because it's the most important part of what we're looking at. Things look a lot better with the storm relative velocity scan. And velocity in general does look more broad, so this is good news. I can't imagine that they're going to extend this tornado warning. But we're going to stick with this because this severe thunderstorm warning it's a huge band of area. This is going from all of Tennessee, which is supposedly a lower risk of severe weather based on what we've been seeing, but the energy has resurfaced. It's been warm enough, and I guess there's still enough moisture with this second band, and that's what we get with stationary fronts. It's just constant lift with moisture that it just results in consistent bombardments of these kinds of storms in this situation. But we're here with you for that. So this is the 6:30 a.m. end point for this new thunderstorm warning. It's about an hour from now. And we're going to be here with you every step of the way, making sure that you guys are safe. And also because tornadoes can still fire off of this thing, and tornado warnings are still possible with this over the course of the entire event. So let's take a look again. The velocity scan. This is what we always look for. It's looking pretty decent. No real major areas that are jumping out to me as problematic for rotation. It's very broad. The whole entire system itself is rotating, but not seeing any major problems with this. This is all good news. Of course, download the weather app so you can follow along with the radar yourself or get the updates as they come. Make sure that all of your equipment, all your safety equipment is charged up. Your phones are charged up if you do still have power, because this next blast, we've already gotten hit pretty heavy with very strong winds already. And we've got even more on the way. And we've got a flash flood warning now as well through Chattanooga, Collegedale, and also towards our west. So all on the plateau, into the valley, flash flood warnings. They're abundant. We got a lot of rain with this. It is very heavy, and while it is fast moving, there is still a lot of heavy rain behind it. But once this line passes, we're done. There is no more threat to severe weather after this line is done. This is it. This is the second half. And we're going to do great. We got through the first half. We're going to get through the second one. What is this flashing? I got to check on that. Looks like they've updated the tornado warning. They've made it smaller. Good news there. And that's what that flashing was. There's so many different warnings going on at once that it's hard to pinpoint, especially since the tornado warning itself is red amongst red, which is always very, very tricky. I think what it was actually extending this further out, the severe thunderstorm warning. This one is really what it looked like. This one is the one that's 60-mile-an-hour winds with quarter-sized hail. And even after this tornado warning is done, this is such a big area of severe weather, including through some of our most densely populated cities, that I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving you. And neither is Bill Race. Bill Race is live on Facebook right now, as well as our other social media. So if you do lose power and you can't watch us on TV, if you can't watch me on TV, you can watch Bill on your phones. That's why I say make sure that you are keeping everything charged up. Plug your phone in if you still have power. Plug it in. Because if you lose signal, if you lose us on TV, he's got you covered on another base. We are multiple different bases here, making sure that you guys are covered. All right, so that, that velocity looks pretty good. I'm not concerned about this right now. It looks pretty broad. I have a feeling that they're going to expire this next 10 minutes, next 20 minutes, I think, is when it expires, because it's 5 a.m. Central Time. But I'm not seeing any areas of rotation, neither in storm relative velocity or regular velocity. These are two different kinds that we use to look for rotation in the atmosphere. And while there are some spots of big rotation, it's still pretty broad. So if there was a problem spot, I would think it's right here, east of I-27. Other than that, and maybe this area right here, that's kind of over what I assume to be rural or areas. I'm not getting any street names. It seems to be Grandview Road, possibly Grandview Road through, it's so hard to see the county. I believe it's through Sequatchie County. There's some rotation there. So if you are along Grandview Road, it's hard to see exactly what's underneath. Along Grandview Road near Cane Creek Road, through Sequatchie County, potential rotation there. That's a trouble spot that I'm looking at. The other one would be around Horseshoe Road, also through Sequatchie County. Another broad area of rotation. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that that is where the tornado is, if there is even one on the ground. But these are just the trouble spots. So if you're in those roads, you know people in those roads, check in with them, make sure they're doing okay. Okay, there's a big update. Big update. Ooh. Okay, that's good. That's getting even more broad here, and I'm not even seeing that other one. This thing is moving very quickly. I think it's going to leave the area pretty soon, so it's just getting more broad, but this part, That's the part I don't really like to see. It does still seem pretty large and broad, but it looks like they've extended the tornado warning out into... I think they've extended it out further past Sequatchie County maybe, or further into Sequatchie County, because it's kind of the edge point. So there's a little bit of rotation once again kind of here, and between Barker Camp Road and Henson Gap Road. Whew. Almost had a sneeze there. And then we have to keep an eye on this area right here. There's another rotation. This is over Still Cove Road, Horseshoe Band Road. These other names are here. Clear, Brooks Drive, Early Rising Drive, I believe. That has another potential to have rotation, but it's very broad, so I'm not as concerned about that spot. In fact, that no update really is helpful. And out here, there's some more potential rotation. It's still pretty broad. I'm not as concerned about that. Let's go back to reflectivity, see where it's at. It's almost completely past Sequatchie County now, so that's great news there. Looks like we've got another severe thunderstorm warning been issued. This is a preemptive strike through all of our Georgia counties. This is actually the entirety of our Georgia counties, every single one. Catoosa, Dade, Walker, Whitfield. Even Fannon's in this, as well as, well, Fannon's not quite in it yet. So maybe not all of them, but the majority of them. So Chatsworth just on the edge of it, but they'll be in it. I'm absolutely sure of that. But Lafayette's, Walker County, Chattooga, not quite in it yet, but we're getting there. So all of our metro counties, not our full viewing counties, but metro counties. That's a preemptive strike there. You'd think that the atmosphere would be completely devoid of... Oh, the tornado warning's gone. Great. I didn't really expect it to stay much longer there anyway, based on that rotation. Thank you, Savannah. So good news there. So the tornado warning is done. We're looking A-OK where that is concerned. But any of these things can fire off another one. But it does look like things are getting choppier. This is all great news. We want it to be like this. We want it to get undefined. The more undefined it gets, the better, because it weakens. So while we still do have these severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, it might not be as harsh in those places. But with this broad area, here's a broad area look of it. And here, we'll loop it so you can see how this developed. It's moving through pretty quick. And it's also still pretty strong. It's approaching Chattanooga as we speak. So let's get down there. Let's get down here and see what we're looking at. Right now, it's through Signal Mountain. If you're on Signal Mountain, very loud for you, I'm sure. Very strong winds. For you in particular, it's 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with half-dollar-sized hail possible. And that's heading towards Chattanooga. That's one of the stronger severe thunderstorm warnings. The one going through Sail Creek right now is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. This is going to be expiring at 6:30 Eastern Time through Athens. We'll be there with you. It's about a little less than an hour, like 40 minutes, roughly, 45, until that's done. That tells you how quick this is moving. Moving very, very quick. But you can see kind of how choppy it is. Now, there is the possibility that it looks weaker because it's closer to the site. So this is the radar site right here, high top. And that is not quite being able to reach everything. But in order to get the highest reflectivity and the highest resolution on the radar to see where the trouble spots are, we need to use that situation. So once it passes by far enough, we'll be able to get a much better view. But we're continuing to keep an eye on this in particular, this cell, because this one is the one that's going at 70 miles an hour. So I'm being told we've got a live look at some lightning. Let's take a look at that. Jasper Highlands, you can see the wind whipping around in Jasper Highlands. This is thanks to our CHI Memorial Storm Cam 9. Whew, would you look at that? Hang on, I'm going to actually get a better view of this. so I can really see what's going on. Wow, look at all that lightning. In Marion County. Marion County is actually where the severe storms are going through right now. This is where the 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts are going. So this is what you're seeing right here is what is approaching here. So there's Jasper right here. And that's heading east. So it actually, because it's close to the radar site, I think that's why it's a bit choppier and not as high resolution, but you still saw plenty of that lightning out there. Thank you for going back to radar without me asking, because I completely jumped the gun on that one. I thought it was still in the camera. Either way, we're keeping an eye on that. So it's going through Red Bank right now. It's through downtown Chattanooga as well. We're hitting Riverside Park. We're looking at Riverfront Parkway. This is right through the downtown area. There's North Chattanooga. So North Shore, Red Bank areas, downtown is getting a little bit of that light rain through Broad Street, but it's about to come through even more so. There's not as much red going on. This is great. I'm going to take a look at a different... Oh, well, that's disappointing. So this is a little different view. Still showing heavy rainfall, but that other view is this is the highest resolution, but due to the proximity of the radar site, you can't really quite see all of it, but this gives another idea of where it is. I mean, the orange in both respects are going to be showing very heavy rain and intensity, but the red on this one is really extreme rain, potentially even hail related. You can see that down here near South Pittsburgh as well. Signal Mountains, you're right in the middle of it too. This orange, the orange obviously very heavy rain. The yellow is moderate rain and the green is light rain. I'm going to keep it on this view just because I like the way it kind of defines each particular area. And while it does look like it's weakening, it's still extremely strong. And this is all through areas that are in a flash flood warning, and they've actually extended that now for East Brainerd and Ooltewah. So both of these areas are now in a flash flood warning. Let me get another broad view of this just in case something pops up that I can't see if I'm zoomed in. It's pummeling Saudi Daisy right now. So let's go over to Saudi Daisy. You can see how defined this red is. Extreme rain, possible hail forming, right on that border between the two severe thunderstorm warnings, one with 70-mile-an-hour gusts, one with 60. But just because it says that it's 60 does not mean that there are some spots that are a little bit harsher. You can see in this instance, this bright pink, very, very strong winds. Even these areas right there, those kind of whiter pink areas, very strong winds. Through Dunlap, you can see, and through Red Bank, excuse me, very, very strong wind gusts there. So that would be the 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts there, going through Red Bank right now, as well as downtown Chattanooga. We've got different kinds of things for different sites. So taking a look at, let's take a look at downtown Chattanooga. This is where the severe weather is coming through right now. This is that 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. Very, very strong at the Edwin Hotel. Thanks to the CHI Memorial Storm Cam 9 for that. We've got tons and tons of that strong, strong wind. Is there another view from downtown we can look at? Maybe from the DoubleTree? Facing out towards the north would be great. North Shore areas. So remember, stay inside an interior room away from windows or underground if you can. Hallways, also great places to be. This is the DoubleTree Hotel. We can hear the thunder now approaching our station here. And we're still seeing very large areas of some very strong wind gusts, 70 miles an hour going through downtown Chattanooga right now. Still plenty and plenty. This is facing North Shore. So this is where the worst of it right now is as it continues to make its way towards Riverside Park and Riverside Drive. But there's also a lot of strong. We could go back to radar now because we're going to keep an eye on Signal Mountain because you see very strong wind gusts here. So this will also be around 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts on Signal Mountain heading towards Red Bank, Fairfax Heights as well. Anywhere you see the bright pink, whoa, so we had a little bit of a power surge here. We've got generators, don't worry. If we lose power, they'll be right back on it. We are going to be A-okay. We're also keeping an eye out there towards Whiteside, Jasper. Still very, very strong wind gusts here, long after the severe storms have passed by, or at least the initial line. So these wind gusts are going to be lasting for quite a while. And heading through Saudi Daisy, it doesn't look like we've got anything in particularly gusty at the time, but there is rotation, broad, don't worry. So it's moving by pretty quickly. It looks like if you are in Dunlap, you're done. Dunlap is done. Okay, we're gonna go live right now to Leslie Dominique, who is in Rocky Face, Georgia. Leslie, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, Ryan, we're currently off of Mill Creek Road right now, and we're on the corner with Quarles Road. Take a look to my right over here. You can see all of this water rushing on the side of this road. And Logan, my photog, is going to take you all along this side. This water is moving very quickly. Now, we did get a photo from a viewer earlier, and it showed that this water was actually, if you go straight ahead, Ryan, I'm sorry, Logan. If you go straight ahead here, you can see this bridge up ahead. There was water going over the street as well. Now, this water has died down quite a bit, but as you can see, there's a bit of a rush happening here, and we're being told throughout the Rocky Face area, through the Dalton area, there's other flooding going on, so we're going to continue to search for more. So be careful as you're out on those roads. It's very slick, it's slippery. You definitely want to have those high beams on as you're headed out on your way. We're going to send it back to you, Ryan or Dane.